Okay, so the big number this morning, 50. Presidential approval rating in the big Rasmussen tracker hits 50%. The reason this is a big deal is because the Rasmussen tracking poll is one of the most, it's long-term accurate history, day after day after day after day, going back several presidential terms. And that's how we know that Trump on August 2nd was at 50%, Barack Obama at 45%. You will have no idea this has happened if you watch mainstream media. What is remarkable, one of the most remarkable things in these numbers, that just, I said this for so many years, after Mitt Romney lost, they did a postmortem on why do we lose? The GOP, they spent millions of dollars on it, brought in all the smartest minds, which is to say none, but they were all the right people from all the right cocktail parties. Yeah. And they brought them in, and they concluded the only way the GOP was going to be able to survive in the future and not die was to become a big tent party. Got to have the Hispanic voters on board, got to get them on board. And the only way to do that is amnesty, because that's what they want, right? Because they're all a bunch of illegal immigrants anyway, right? So they just want some amnesty. And this is why, and this is their thinking, mind you, which I think almost it borders on a sort of xenophobic racist thinking, if you ask me. They even had Lindsey Graham out there. I should have pulled the audio. I'll pull it for later in the show. Saying, you can't deport illegals because you're deporting somebody's grandma. You can't do that. So you're going to make them mad and they're not going to vote for us. They will hate us. And Trump came along and said, no, we're going to do it this way. It's the opposite way. It's what they really want. And guess what? One of the reasons Trump's support is up is because his support among Hispanics is up. They want law and order. They're like anybody else. Mm-hmm. They don't want illegality and border crossing and sneaking across and all that crazy stuff. They don't want that. If you're here legally, you want to work. You don't want to compete with the guy behind you who is not here legally. And so after millions of dollars, and we've got to do amnesty, we got to open the borders, got to do all this, and it's the only way we're going to survive as a party, they get nowhere under Romney. When Romney ran. They get nowhere with Hispanics until Trump comes along, and now the numbers are up among Hispanics, which is absolutely remarkable that you're seeing this go on. It's the opposite of what the party told us about that. And what are they trying to do? They're literally watching. Trump's at 50%. He's been talking about immigration for the last couple of months. He told us he would make it the number one issue in this election, and now it's the number one issue in the big Gallup tracker that people are concerned about. That's been his long-term plan. It's working for him. As he's pushed this issue, his approval rating has jumped up 5 points since he began pushing this issue, and the GOP is valiantly, the leadership, and desperately fighting to keep this issue off the table, even if it means losing. I mean, this is the best evidence we've seen so far. They're getting the one thing that they had wanted before, which is an increase in support from Hispanic voters, and you're watching Trump's numbers go up as he talks about it, and yet still the leadership won't do it, even when faced with the prospect of losing the House. It is one of the most remarkable things I have ever seen. I keep asking folks, because I have Googled this, I've searched this to try to find it, but this audience is better than Google. There's a lot of people with a lot of shared knowledge. Can you think of any group in history, historically, I can't, but I may be missing something, political group, party in charge, that has deliberately tried to lose power and undermine and undercut themselves deliberately in order to give up power to the folks who are supposed to be their sworn enemies? I mean, but people do dumb stuff all the time and lose power throughout history. Look at the Roman Empire. But I mean, a deliberate plan to lose power. I've never seen one before now. I can't find a parallel in history. If you know of one, please text it to me. I will read your text on the air, and we will talk about it, because I can't find a parallel in history. It is one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen. Maybe
establishment Republicans think they have more in common with Democrats than they do with conservative Republicans.
Well, you know what I think? I think they have more in common with Democrat donors. And they do, because this began with Jeb Bush, and the Bushes began to bring the Democrat donors on board, and they took over the party. I am firmly convinced the Kochs are not only not Republicans, they're not libertarian. They just pretend to be. I think the whole thing is a ruse. And watching Trump body slam the biggest donors to the GOP this past week.
Maybe they're just monetarian.
They're monetarian. Yeah, I think that's it. But I also think they're Democrats. Let me tell you why. Even a libertarian would not have said what they said this week. And a libertarian would never have said that Trump's tariffs are terrible because they hurt foreign workers. Even a libertarian who wants open borders and believes anybody anywhere in the world should be able to apply for a job anywhere, in the world with no barriers, would never say, but I would like to, we can't hurt foreign workers. It's okay if American workers are hurt, but we can't hurt foreign workers. That is liberal thinking. That is, America sucks. We're too rich anyway. We should prioritize foreign workers thinking. These guys are Democrats. They always have been. They're liberals, and they're in sheep's clothing. They're not even libertarian. And their money is a cancer and a poison, not just to this country, but also to this party. And so Trump's looking at them. You think, why is Trump dissing ahead of the midterms some of the biggest donors who have threatened to donate to the Democrats? It's because when you look at Trump, he's smashed fundraising records. He knows he can raise the money to replace what they bring in. He's done it. He brings money in small donations. He needs to get these candidates off the Koch money. Off the Coke is a better way to put it. You've got to get them off the Coke and
With
the
a K.
addiction so that we as a party can go back. This is what Trump is saying. I, at this point, don't consider myself a member of the Republican Party, but I haven't for many years. But what he's saying is, we got to get them off the Coke so that they can be free to do what our constituents want us to do, so that we can stop this craziness of trying to defeat, doing self-defeating things going into elections to please donors. We got to cut these donors loose. They're bad. They're a cancer. I got to get rid of them. Trump's telling them, go away. Write checks to the Democrats. Please go away. We don't need you. And that's what he's doing. He wants to replace them. He would love these candidates to be drop-kicked by the Kochs and have to come to him. Look, I got no money in my coffers. I need you to raise it, because he can raise it. This is how you take back a party. This is what he's doing. I think it's brilliant. I think it is brilliant. Texter writes, Gramnesty was on Hannity yesterday pushing DACA. What a waste of breathable air. Is he still pushing DACA? Dang. Can he not give it a break till the midterms? See, this is what I'm talking about. They're trying to lose an election. They're trying to lose an election. This is the one issue that's buoying them right now, and they're doing everything they can. Never seen anything like it. Oh, get this. Chris Kobach, right? Fabulously popular in Kansas, is on his way to beating the sitting Republican governor because he has been a hawk on immigration. And you know who's fighting him? GOP establishment trying to take him out, trying to buzzsaw him, cut him off at the knees so that they can put a less popular guy in office, risking the chance that he will lose. This is what they do. They would rather have weaker candidates and lose than put conservatives in office. And that's because everybody's mainlining the Koch money. It's got to stop. This is how we save America. Look, Democrats going to do what they're going to do. They're not going to accomplish much without our votes. That's the poison. It's not what the Democrats are doing. It's that the Republicans allow it. That's the poison. We got to end that. It's got to go. It's got to go.